SDSL Backyard Show. I'm Caleb, and my co-host is James. And this week, we have George from Friends Don't Die. We'll discuss his 2 songs he has out, the origins of Friends Don't Die, and his new EP coming out June 8th. And now, let's get into the show. All right.
Okay.
What's up, guys? This is the Backyard Show.
I was like, oh, shit. What did I get into? How do I leave?
I'm going to leave that in. So we are here with one half of the group, Friends Don't Die. George, can you tell the listeners what or who we're missing today?
We're missing a dear friend of mine, Daniel, but he used to live in OC. He's currently working in Nashville right now, but he is taking a little break from the project. So as of right now, I'm doing all the songwriting and all the recording and all the recording with a friend, James. But yeah, just doing all the songwriting right now.
How'd you and Daniel meet?
We met through school. We both went to APU, and I'm a music major, and he was a video and music major, and so he did like a mixed major type thing. But we basically met through mutual friends who were like, oh, we think you guys would get along, and we when we met, we instantly clicked, and so that was cool. And we just started writing music as soon as we met and just hanging out. He's an incredible drummer, so he was always involved in all these film projects, and one of the film projects he got asked to work on was writing the soundtrack for a student film, and that student film was called Friends Don't Die, and we ended up doing it together. Like, he asked me to help him, so I played all the guitar, and he did all the drums, and we put a couple songs together for that. And from there, we just grabbed the name. We asked, of course, if we can use the name, and they're like, oh yeah, totally cool. And so they're like keeping up with us. People who made that movie keep up with us, and yeah, we kept that name and just been writing music ever since.
How long after the film did you guys make the group Friends Don't Die?
So probably like right when the film got released, because we had been working on the music all throughout the film. Right when it got released, we were like, we should probably continue this. Like, it's been super fun. Like, let's keep writing music together. Let's keep like doing stuff. And then obviously like COVID like shut everything down, and so we couldn't really do anything else besides just write the music, put it out. And so that's exactly what we did. So probably immediately.
Do you have plans to play shows after
Oh,
COVID?
Definitely, yeah. I'm like already in like the talks with like a couple of venues just to like, hey, definitely interested in like, doing some shows here. Not too soon, like not in May or not like next week, but like maybe in June, like 3rd week of June, like something like that. So that's what I'm thinking.
What's the band gonna be like when you do live shows? Is it just gonna be you and Daniel, or you and James?
No, so what I'm thinking is that I've been down here since 2016, down in LA, and kind of in the scene since 2016. So I have a lot of friends that are in like other bands, and some that you guys might know, and so I'm thinking, I'm like asking, which I already asked, like, hey, like, would you want to play bass for like live shows, or would you want to play lead guitar for like live shows, or keys or drums, etc. And I've gotten a whole bunch of yes. Like, a whole bunch of people are just like, yeah, let's do it. So like they like the project, and they just want to be involved. People are like eager to play shows. Obviously, people are eager to like be a part of music projects right now. So that wasn't hard. Getting people to like just want to help out or want to just play music live is not hard right now. And so when I asked a bunch of like music major friends and stuff, and got on board. So that's what I'm thinking, like full band, full everything.
So you have 2 songs out right now, and obviously you can't do a whole set with 2 songs. So is it safe to assume that you have a lot more songs in the works to play a full live set?
Yeah, definitely. We have 5 songs already recorded, and they're gonna be put out in an EP in June, like right when the shows are gonna start up. So that's my plan. You know, that's like the let's see if this happens kind of plan. And so I'm excited for that. But the plan is to, like, you know, release that EP, release a couple more singles after that, and some of those are already like demo stage. And so after that, maybe an album, like maybe, like we don't know, right? But that would be awesome.
What kind of music was on that student film?
And where can the listeners see that?
Like Vimeo, like I'm not exactly sure. I think it was I think the student film was for some students in Chapman, and so I didn't really know them too. It was like his connection.
Oh.
Yeah. But it's called Friends Don't Die. Like, if you just search up student films, Friends Don't Die. And so yeah, I'm just really happy with where we're going right now. You know, what kind of music's being made right now. So, but yeah, it's way different than what it was.
Let's do a segment. We usually do segments a little later on in the show. Let's start it early. Which one should we do?
Let's do the one we were talking about yesterday. That one was cool.
All right, so we've got a new segment called Dream Venue. Basically, just what venue would you want to play with if you could, or play in if you could play anywhere. Let's cue the Dream Venue music, brought to you by the artist Klepto. Playing now.
What's your dream venue?
So Dream Venue, where would you want to play?
Dang. Well, I'm from the Bay, and like my first thought was like Outside Lands would be awesome. The huge like festival they do there. When I was in high school, I went to high school like literally like a 2-minute drive from where Outside Lands is now. And I've always wanted to go, never could go. Always had friends that snuck in, but I couldn't do it. I couldn't, you know, I was like, this is not worth it to me to get caught. And so that would be a really cool spot.
Nice. Are you going to go to Outside Lands this year?
Probably not.
No.
No. I saw a lineup, and then I was like, I don't even got my second shot yet. I'm just
Yeah.
chill out for a second.
Okay, new segment. What shot do you have?
Pfizer. Yeah,
Nice.
because my parents didn't have a reaction to it, and my little sister didn't have a reaction to it either. So I was like, I'll probably stick to what's genetically was okay with them, you know? So yeah, just got Pfizer.
Nice. Now we got to write
I got Pfizer.
write vaccine music.
Vaccine? No, we're not doing that.
I'm going to do it.
Vaccine music?
It's going to play right now.
What shot do you got?
All right.
It's just a shred. Someone's just wailing.
Nah, I got the Pfizer. I got my second dose in.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
I'm getting it like this week.
Dope.
Next week.
Where at?
That's CVS or something.
Oh,
Yeah,
cool.
so I went to
I'm
Walgreens.
I'm Moderna gang.
Oh, really?
Moderna gang. But he got all sick and
Yikes.
shit.
Yeah, I did,
got
but
really
like
sick.
I think I'm comforted in that because it's like it works, right? Like, because your body gets sick because it's building the antibodies.
If that's what you want to, like, you know.
I don't know. Is that not? That's what I've heard. Because like you're supposed to get sick because your body's like getting the antibodies.
Nah, you're just weak, bro.
I was kind of chilling, you know. I was kind of
I was totally
I just
fine.
don't. I just don't get enough vitamin C. My body wasn't ready.
Dang.
Wait, you're telling me you had a side effect to Moderna? Like
Yeah,
everyone else that got Moderna?
Yeah, exactly.
Is that really?
I heard it was a thing.
I don't keep up with the news, man.
Yeah, I'm just not.
No, I got Johnson & Johnson and
No.
Damn, so this is his last podcast.
This is the last podcast.
yeah. Thank you guys for listening. James is gonna be taking over the show.
Yeah.
It's gonna be the George and James show.
Yeah,
J&G.
that's the way it works. Whoever was the last guest just assumes the position.
Well, there you go.
All right.
All right, let's
The
tie it
dichotomy of
back
that
into the
segment
show.
Mm.
When did you first start getting into music?
Probably high school. I was like really into soccer, probably sophomore year, and then started taking guitar lessons like junior year of high school. And so I like dropped soccer, immediately fell into like music, and like I first wanted to be a drummer. That was like my first thing, but it's too loud. and didn't have like the house for it, and so yeah, just guitar. And then I decided I wanted to be a music major. Applied for like Berklee College of Music because I was like, oh, that's where all people who love music want to go. And then I ended up just coming down here to APU. And so, yeah, it's been a great time. Graduated in December, made a lot of good friends, a lot of good connections. And then it's cool to see like something I'm super passionate about and other, like my friends, like succeeding in the field. Like, like having these huge connections, these huge like things happen to them that involve music. It's so cool to see because I'm like, wow, I'm like right next to all that, it's so cool to just be available, be involved. So
that's pretty late, like compared to like a lot of our other guests and just a lot of musicians like starting junior year high school, but already like, I mean, you said you were 23 and already like your music is so
developed
and stuff.
It's awesome.
Wait, I think I'm 24.
Oh.
It's March. Yeah, I'm 24.
24?
My bad.
For sure.
I'm 24.
Okay.
Dude.
rough night last night.
Okay, the quarantine happened last March.
Yeah, that year doesn't count. So you're 23 still.
Yeah. So
like
quarantine happened last March. And I turned 23.
Okay.
And then this March, it's still happened. Like, we're still in it.
Yeah.
And so now I'm 24. And I just
also, it's
don't remember
April.
23. Yeah.
It's April now.
It's April now. It's almost
God.
May.
Dang.
I'm the same.
Yeah, well, that's where I'm at, 24.
But so were you writing songs, or when did you start writing songs?
Started writing. I'm like not great at writing lyrics, and so when I think of songwriting, I think of like putting a whole song together. And I probably say when I got to college is when I seriously started like getting into it. I'd probably say like the end of my first year of college, because going into be a music major, I wasn't like, I didn't know how to read music that well or anything, and so like I was like, I'm the best guitar player in my hometown of 600, and then you go
That's only you.
Yeah, and then you go to like school down here.
Yeah.
You go to be a music major in LA, and then you're like
A lot.
the worst guitar player. and so yeah, I mean, I think I seriously, after like the first couple months of like, wow, I'm discouraged, wow, this is awful, I don't want to do this, why did I do this, why did I move,
Do you remember, oh sorry.
Yeah, and people just, got more friendly. I realized like so many other people were in the same boat, and then so after I got encouraged when I started seeing like people still like grinding through it, like even though there's all this discouragement of like, oh, you're not going to be like amazing your first year, obviously, right? You're not going to be like the best guitar player in the world or even in your class by the end of your first year. So it's like learning all of this music, learning about the scene down here now, and then being involved in like other projects. That was awesome. And that's when I got like serious about music. Yeah.
Do you remember like what kind of motivated that switch in you to stop, I guess, I don't know if you're covering songs and stuff, but just learning guitar and then going to trying to write your own songs? Like what motivated that?
What motivated that?
Was there like a song that you remember? Maybe like an event that happened where you're like, oh, I should write a song about that or something.
The first thing that popped into my mind was when I was like first learning how to play lead guitar, and the first band that popped into my mind was I was trying to learn a bunch of Two Door Cinema Club songs, and I remember just thinking like, oh, I want to write lead lines like that. Oh, I want to write like fun, like dancing songs like that. And so that was probably probably the end of high school. I was like, okay, I want to like write all these songs. I want to start a band. I want to like, do all that. But then I moved and then things changed. But yeah, I think that's that.
Should we do another segment? Should we do the fan favorite?
Sure.
All right, Dream Gear. Cue the Dream Gear music.
Dream Gear music.
It's time for Dream Gear.
All right.
Give us 3 just pieces of gear. It can be anything. A pedal, a microphone, something you've been dreaming about.
So like one huge thing that was big for me, like when it came to recording, I've always wanted to record vocals to a SM7B, like one of those, like, you know, you see like all podcasts sound, like the really really nice ones, or like
Yeah, we're not a nice podcast. We're not recording on SM7Bs.
No, I like that was one piece of gear that I was like, oh, that'd be so cool if I ever got to use one. And for the last 2 singles, my friend James, he has all of them. He has like a ton of like, he has access to all these mics, and he has a few. And I was like, oh, perfect. So I actually got to sing to him, and that was a huge like, oh, this is awesome type of moment. Besides that, I really love the Bad Cat amp that I have. I have the Cougar 15, I think. And I love how it sounds. It's just big, warm. And then I have a Jazzmaster, like the classic player. Yeah. And I wouldn't trade that for anything.
So you got your dream gear already.
That guy, that's all. I just have, like, I can spend hours just, playing along. So yeah, that'd be my dream gear. I don't really have like I don't want this cool thin line telly. Like,
that was the most humble dream gear ever.
Yeah.
It was a solid one though.
So you're saying you record at your friend James' house. What's that process like? Do you come to him with a fully formed song, or are you coming with like ideas, or how does that work?
He's actually my roommate. Like, we live in the same house, and he lives upstairs. And so I've known him since I was like 17, 18, and he's from the Bay as well. And he's also been involved in tons of bands and tons of projects, and he worked at Panda Studios back in Fremont. And if you know Panda Studios, they did like Mom Jeans stuff. They did all of like the Story So Far stuff, Basement, a few others. I'm missing a few, obviously, but those are like the big names, some big names that came out there. So I was like super intrigued. I was like, oh, that's awesome. Like I listened to that music. That'd be so cool if I could like record there. And we did. The first 2 singles got recorded there. And because he was an intern there, he had just graduated from Expressions. And so I was like, this is one of my closest friends. This is an awesome opportunity. Like, and I was like, why don't you just move down here? Why don't you just move down here to LA with me? And so he did. He did last year, almost a year ago. And he's just been getting in contact with tons of bands. Tons of people are hitting him up, or like seeing like our music from our page going to him, or from his page checking us out. It's so cool.
So is that at your house then?
Yeah, at our apartment. Yeah.
The drums?
No, the drums are recorded either we drive up back to the Bay and record them there. But recently we can't find a place that won't charge you an arm and a leg to let you record drums.
Oh, wow, really?
It's crazy. Yeah, I don't know how much like, about like the renting a studio space, like, but since you're in LA, then the studio space is like $300 an hour.
Yeah.
Like $400 an hour.
You should look into Citrus College does it, and I think with a student fee, like maybe you could get like a homie that goes to Citrus. I want to say it's only like $100 or something, but it's like, I don't know, have you seen pictures of the studio?
No.
It's a legit like proper recording studio. Like, you get intimidated when you walk in, but maybe look into that, because I want to say $100, because I think I asked him like, what if I want to record on the weekend or something.
Wasn't there a whole thing where like No Doubt recorded an album there?
Yeah, everybody. No Doubt recorded
Sublime recorded stuff there.
I know.
I heard about that.
Really?
I've heard of Citrus recording program.
Yeah.
That's why when you told me earlier, I was like, that he knows what he's doing,
man,
because
I know my shit.
I have a ton of people. I have a ton of friends that go there.
Yeah.
Currently, and I have like a few friends that graduated from there, and they know what they're talking about. Like, they're really on top of it. And so it's cool.
Want to talk about microphone polar patterns?
Yeah, literally. Oh, this is a cardioid. This is like and I'm like,
yeah.
Speaking my language. This is like homework, But yeah, so that's tight. I would love to like hit them up. I was even like thinking, we just get like a storage spot, like a storage, pay a monthly thing.
Yeah.
Clean out like a storage unit or something like that. Soundproof, sound treat it, and then just record there.
To get a shipping
It's
container.
horrible.
A shipping container.
It's just gonna sound like I'm playing in like a tin can or something.
Honestly, it's not. I record my vocals in there. No, it's like we have so much
it's like
shit
the
in there.
golden ratio.
Yeah, we have like motorcycles and like fucking boxes and stuff that it's so dead in there. And the only thing I'll do is I'll just like put up a blanket, just because that definitely reduces it. It's all locked up right now.
Yeah, we're doing vocals in the apartment. Like, it's not rocket science. Like, there's a few like sound panels and everything like that, and then we're just recording very quietly. Nothing else is going on. There's people that are like working there in the apartment complex still. So
You're not doing like screamo stuff, so there's not a lot of room.
no, it's not. Yeah, I'm not going crazy. But definitely shouty. Like the next couple of songs are gonna be a little more like a little louder. So I'm so stoked. Yeah.
What well, you said they're louder. What else can you tease
Can you
about the new
divulge
songs?
about the new stuff coming soon?
Yeah, it's gonna be. Let me see. Definitely bigger. That was our goal. That was my goal with like. I love how much engagement came from the 2 singles, because I was like, I want to put out something that like I'm gonna love in like 5 years, or still be proud of in 5 years, And I am, like, I can still listen to him and not hate it.
Yeah,
man,
like when
your own
pulled
song
up and
comes
you were jamming to your own songs when you pulled up right now.
Yeah, when I rolled up right now, I was blasting it just so you guys know who I am. No, I was like, I was just thinking that the other day, like, if I hate the songs, or if I can't even listen to them, then why did I spend all this time and energy and money? And so I'm just happy where they're at, and I can still put them on and be like, okay, this is cool. I'm really happy, like, we added, that much reverb to that vocal, or that, like, or this guitar is a little mid-rangey, but it's okay because it cuts through, like, just stuff like that.
Is that why, like, because compared to our other guests, they have like albums and stuff out, and you have 2 songs out. Is that because like you're more selective about what you're putting out?
Yeah. So I'm definitely like a little perfectionist when it comes to like putting stuff out. Just because I've put stuff out before I'm not happy with, and if someone puts it on, like, say if I'm like at my parents' house, they're like, oh my goodness, like, to all my cousins, check out this song, like, Georgie just put out a song, and they'll put it on, and I'm like, oh, change it, I hate it, I don't want that.
So now you're like, turn it up.
Yeah. so like this, a couple months ago, I was back home, and my mom had put it on. She was just like, oh, I love this song. She put it on, and I was like, okay, cool. Okay, I still kind of like it. Yeah, it's cool. So I think that's like where I'm at when it comes to like, can I hear this? Can I hear it in like a setting where I'm like, there's 50 people in a room, and someone says, hey, this is that guy's song, and they put it on, and I'm not embarrassed. And I'm like pretty proud of it,
Do you ever send stuff that you're working on to other people for notes, or? Not
really.
No.
Not really. I
confident.
I know that probably sends me. That probably makes me sound,
No.
But I love like giving people like surprises. I love like just being like, here's like something I've been working on for months, and I'm super proud of it. Check it out. I don't like send it to. This happened with the first single, for example, like with She's a Head Rush. I sent it to a bunch of my friends, and like Daniel sent it to a bunch of his family like members. And you don't ask them to listen to it, you ask them for their notes, and then they'll send back, good song, I didn't get this lyric, I didn't like the drums are too loud here, or like, and I don't like that because everyone's different, and
it just makes you double think.
Rethink everything, because everyone's gonna have their own opinion, everyone's gonna be into certain music, and so I found that doesn't work. What does help me though is like I'd play the songs acoustically in front of like 2 or 3 people I really trust, and I'll sing the lyrics and make sure that they like make sense, like, because they make sense to me. But if someone can't like connect with it or understand it or even like relate to it a little bit, then it's just for me. Then it's just like a song for me, and I don't care about what anyone else does. And I don't want that.
Is there any examples of lyrics that you've changed because somebody said something?
Yeah, that was a big thing, because with the song Backwards, that song is about a friend's relationship going bad. So it's not even about me or my experiences or anything. It's about someone else's experience and someone else like having a breakup, and so like I'd run the song through him and be like, hey, this is like from what you've told me, because it was a close friend of mine, so I was like always around them as a couple. So when they broke up, I was like, oh dang, that's tough. Can I write a song about it? Like, can I, like, this is something, because everyone goes through a breakup.
Yeah.
So
that's an interesting perspective.
Yeah. So I was like, he was like, sure, right on, just don't say any names. And I was like, yeah, I got you. So that's what the chorus of Backwards is. The chorus of Backwards changed a lot because it was like I really wanted to make it like, I was really inspired by Modern Baseball. That band, amazing, super like singable like choruses, like a group vocal type of chorus, you know. So that was like a big inspiration for me. But that ended up getting changed a lot because of maybe it was a little too specific here, maybe it was a little like too like broad here, or didn't quite make sense with like, oh, this is something that not many people experience. This is something that like, you know, like getting really specific into like a breakup or something, you know.
Yeah.
So definitely got changed.
I'm not trying to make you like rethink your song, but do you think maybe that filtering cut down more of like the sincerity of the lyrics, or how do you perceive that now?
I definitely thought about that because I was like, this is just gonna be, I don't want it to be like you turn this on and then you heard this same song 10,000 times in a different way. And so I wanted it to be like specific and only to us and only to like the people. And it's funny because the other person in the relationship, I don't think knows that it's about them still.
Call them out right now on
No,
the podcast.
call them out right now. And they told me they liked the song, so it's like,
wow.
tight. But yeah, I feel like it fits. I definitely like understand what you're saying, because that's something I'm trying to avoid. Because when someone says like, oh, I love your band, they remind me of this, and this, and that song that you made sounds like that song. You know, like I don't want to hear that. You know, I don't want to hear that. I intentionally try to like do my own type of thing. You know.
How do you describe your music when people ask that? Because I hate answering that question when people ask that, and then it sounds like you do too. Mm-hmm. But how do you answer that question? Because I'm sure you get that.
My first like, when someone has like zero like context, zero like experience to even like a music scene or like anything, mm-hmm. Like a coworker asked me the other day, like, oh, how would you describe like your band and all that stuff? I'm like, like surf rock, maybe indie alternative. And then they're like, oh, okay, like what are some bands? And I was like,
you're giving away your references.
Yeah. Then I'm like, great. Now I gotta become my own worst enemy. And like,
it's like belittling when people ask that. I hate. Like,
yeah, a little bit, because I don't want to compare, and I don't want to like just be like, well, if you like that band, you're gonna like us.
Yeah.
And because I've even seen ads like that. You know.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
It's the worst.
I haven't seen those.
Yeah.
People are thirsty on Instagram ads.
Yeah. No, it's intense, and that's something I'm definitely trying to avoid. You know.
I'm gonna make ads like, you like Jesus? You like the Beatles? Pretty Ugly Boy.
Dig our music. Check us out now.
No.
Yeah. So that's a little tough, trying to describe it or trying to like, and I gotta work on that, because I am not like a here's my song in your face type
Yeah, you
of
need
guy.
the elevator pitch.
Yeah, I'm not that.
Yeah.
And so I definitely gotta work on that. Like be engaging with people, friendly, but still like I'm passionate about the music, but maybe it might not come off as that because of how like shy I can be with showing someone, you know. So that's something I think I personally gotta work on. Yeah.
Mm. I guess I have one more question, and we could cut this out because I just formed this right now. But so you went to APU, and that's like a Christian college. How much are you religious?
Yeah.
How much of like religion plays into your music? Because that's something I'm kind of curious about. Because like people either don't do that, or then they're like Christian rock. Got
it. Yeah. I don't do that. Yeah. Just because I don't like to. Obviously, none of the lyrics have anything to do with it. Nothing about like our music is like, oh, this guy's Christian, you know. But I don't feel like I gotta like sing it to you. I feel like I don't have to like write it in my lyrics. I feel like if you're that person in real life, then you don't gotta like go ahead and like sell it to people. if you're just like, oh, that guy's like a good guy, he's a Christian, like he does this, he kind of like lives by it, he's kind of like, he is what it is, like he's doing what he's saying. So I'd rather do that than like through my art kind of be like, this is me, this is all me.
So then that brings me to a different question of just like how much of, you even mentioned that like the other song was about someone else, how much of when you're making your music, is it about you specifically, or is it from like when you're writing a song?
That varies from like song to song for me, because I don't know how this is gonna sound. I don't find myself that interesting, and so I don't feel like I have tons of songs to write about myself. Like I don't think I have so many unique perspectives that you've never heard this song before that I'm gonna write. And so, yeah, like that changes song to song. Like the next songs are coming out. I think one of them's about me. Like one of them's about my own perspective. But with and the songs that are already out, the first single, She's a Head Rush, that one is about me. And I just like, a lot of people think it's about like a girl and think that it's about like a relationship or like some guy dating a girl and they're like trying to figure it out. It's not that, like, at all. I don't know what you guys got from that song. Like, have you listened to it at all? Like,
yeah,
I
definitely got the girl, the traditional kind of girl thing from right off the jump. But that's interesting to know that it's not.
Yeah,
it kind of adds more depth to it for sure.
It's actually about a cigarette.
Oh wow.
Yeah, like the lyrics are like complicated, and don't be frustrated that I can't sneak out for you, and I don't want to come home again. Like. And I just got out the shower, like, you know, just a bunch of stuff that, like, if you, like, actually, like, pay attention, then you're like, oh, okay, yeah, I'm not going to sneak out again for you. She's a head rush. Like, there's just a whole bunch of stuff that,
wow.
It.
That's interesting. That's sick.
Yeah. That was my whole thing, because I was like, I'm not, like, I have, like, a wife. Like, like, life's good. Like, I love her. Like, we're good.
Yeah.
I'm not, so I can't write about a breakup.
Yeah.
Or I can't write about like a horrible thing going on in a relationship where we like broke up. You know, nothing's that serious. So I literally wrote about like a cigarette and then having like trying to stop that. It's not a good thing. So.
But the poetry to it and the way you reworked the perspective was really creative. And now knowing that now.
Yeah. Thank you, man. Yeah, I tried. There's so many songs about girls out there.
There's not as many about cigarettes though, so that's really interesting.
That was fun, because then that's also a challenge in the songwriting, because then yes, it's about me, but it's not like here are my problems, like you know, engage with them. You know, that's not what I was trying to do. So
with like writing songs, do you ever just write poetry and then try and work it into music, or is it always I'm about to write a song?
No, yeah, it's definitely like all of my notes app full of lyrics, and all of my like voice memos are full of like choruses that don't have any lyrics to them. And then so like went into like locking myself in a room for a few hours with like my guitar and then like a interface and my computer, like seeing what I could come up with. Those are really cool, because right now I have like there's like a Google Drive on my computer that it's just like Friends Don't Die potential songs. And it's like 20 songs, lyrics and verses and choruses and everything. And but a lot of them are like they're cool, but I wouldn't put this out. There's just a lot that it's just me getting ideas out, me like getting stuff out to like really hone in on like the 4 or 5 that I'm like, these are really cool. I'm really happy with these, you know. So I know everyone's like that. Yeah. Tons of people are like, oh, I have all these ideas and I gotta like weed them out a little bit. So,
but that's cool that like you're being so specific about what you want out and what you think is the best, and not a ton of people are like that. So that's a good trait.
I made it. I'm gonna put it out.
Yeah. It's usually just right on SoundCloud.
Yeah.
Which is cool. Sometimes like a lot of like new artists are doing things where they're just like releasing demos and seeing how they react, and then seeing if they're going to put the money into to actually make it. But it's interesting to talk back to that. Like, I feel like that's a more old school approach, but like a really like solid approach to just like really meditatively thinking about, okay, have this work. I'm going to see what I could do with it.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I want to like be intentional about it.
Yeah.
Because I think the corniest thing, dude, in the world is going to a show and someone says like, we just wrote this song yesterday.
Yeah.
Check this out. And it's like 45 seconds of garbage. And then you're like, what is this, man? And you know, it's not fun for anyone there. The musician's like shy and kind of insecure about it. And I don't want to do that, you know? So I kind of just want to play stuff I'm proud of and that I like.
Yeah.
That I think people like. So
That's really cool.
yeah.
Well, when you're like coming up with song ideas, like randomly, like you say you have an idea, do you like try and get that on voice memos right away, or do you just try and like mull it over in your head a little bit? What's your approach? Because you said you locked yourself in a room too.
What I do is I like a lot of it comes from when I'm like driving around. I drive a lot, going from like work or like driving to my parents' home, like back up north. And so a lot of the time I'm listening to a lot of music, and then I'm thinking about like my own, like where am I going to be in like a month or two, or like what can I write about right now, or like what is something that I haven't explored on myself, or like what's a perspective I haven't thought of, you know. And there are a few things like even currently that I'm thinking about that are like in the notes app, like half of a page of this and then completely different next page within the same day, half a page of this. And then a lot of it doesn't make sense because I'm just like, you know, writing stuff down, just trying to get an idea, or just trying to like write a song about this, you know. And so a lot of it's just like scrambled, and it does take time to just kind of like, this is going to be a full sentence, it's going to make sense, this next verse is going to start off with a phrase, but it's going to connect to the first verse somehow, you know.
Yeah.
There's just a bunch of like stuff that I like to think about.
Are you usually working out songs, or how long does it take for a song to get written for you? Is it all done in like one session, or is it like various?
The hardest thing is lyrics for me. So lyrics would take weeks, but to write like a song instrumentally, and with all the dynamics, like, oh, I'm gonna do a stop here, oh, I'm gonna do like some you know, break beats here, like that. That's easy for me because that's fun. Because when I write a song, I think about how fun it's gonna be playing live. That's like my inspiration with like writing the instrumentals of a song. Like, oh, this would be so fun to do this during a song. We're gonna do a solo here, so that way I don't have to play guitar and I can do something else on stage, you know. Stuff like that is super inspiring to me. But with lyrics, I don't want to sound stupid. Like I don't want to write something that doesn't make any sense. You know, I don't want to write something that no one's gonna get, or like, oh yeah, I love the music, right? But yeah, when like the singer starts, kind of kills it a little bit for me. Yeah, so I don't want that.
Is there any lyricists that you, I guess, like look up to, or that you draw inspiration from?
Or even just writers, poets.
Right, anything, yeah. Because there's, I mean, obviously, like the music, like you could kind of draw inspiration from whatever bands you hear. You could be like, okay, this sounds like that sounds like that. But like, I feel like it's different for lyrics. You don't really know that, but I feel like at least for my stuff, I definitely have inspirations for lyrics. So
yeah, I can listen to the lyrics of this band for hours. I can listen to the instrumentals of this band for hours, and that'd be a Beach House. Like definitely, everything they write is just so beautiful, so like intentional, so on purpose. You know, everything's like that one lead line was supposed to be there. That like one shouty, all reverbed out vocal was supposed to be there. And yeah, stuff like that I really love, when it's like there's so much thought going into the song, so much like energy and passion going into like the song, that someone else like recognizes like, oh, this is cool, this is something like someone thought about this 100%.
No excess, just
yeah. But Beach House is definitely like a band that I'm like, their instrumentals are like amazing, their vocals are very, very meaningful and very like, you know. So yeah,
it's cool. Got any more questions?
I got one question. You wrote it down, but
go for it.
I'll say it. So the two covers that you have out, they kind of follow like the same theme. I guess it's a two-part question. Are you gonna follow through with that theme? And then what inspired the theme? The
like movie poster theme.
Yeah.
I like. Well, the whole project started from student film.
That's what I caught on to.
And so I was like, well, not many people know that, which is interesting because because obviously we haven't done any like press. We haven't talked to
Yeah, well,
anyone.
right now
haven't-
they're gonna.
Yeah.
So
I'm sure that question is going to come up a ton, which is great because I love talking about it. Like that's where we actually started, like writing music for a film.
it's a cool origin story.
Yeah, it's cool. I like it, and so I love the old like movie poster theme. Like I love like how that, like you that's your first impression, right? Like before you even click on the song, before you even like hear anything, you just like, oh, that's cool. I want to put people in that mindset of this is going to be like a scene in some movie that you'd want to watch. Like that's my whole thing. So like with She's a Head Rush, the cover is me and my wife Scarlett looking at a firework on 4th of July, and we're in the middle of like the desert, like desert, and it was awesome, and we were both like smoking and stuff like that, and I was like, oh, this like makes sense. Like this is cool. This is like what I feel when I listen to the song.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that moment. And then with like backwards, if you like zoom in, there's like clothes on the ground, like a jacket on the ground, like a shoe here, a hat here. The car door is still open, the car's still on. And in my mind, that signified like a date gone bad, or like a breakup, like a bad breakup, you know. And so that's something that I'm like, I really want to be like, this is what the song is about. This is what this is going to be about. So if people don't connect with that, that's fine, but I just want to be sure to like try to convey like this is what this song
Even
is
if it's
about.
not connected on some sort of subconscious level, when you really like think about the details of art, it hits.
Mm-hmm.
So that's really
Yeah.
cool.
Are you thinking about the cover while you're like writing the song, or do you already have that foresight? Like,
Yeah, definitely. I like think about the, like I said, like the theme. Like I'm thinking about like this, if this was a film, if this was like a scene, if this song was playing in the back of a movie scene, what would that scene be? You know, like that's something I like to think about. And even on the covers, if you guys like zoom in, all the lyrics for the entire song are right there. And so that's what, because I don't want to like hide anything. I'm not trying to like, nothing's supposed to be like hidden. Everything's right there.
They're on Apple Music too. It's all
Yeah.
written down.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And so I just want to be like, so that's what I'm thinking for like movie poster, old things, for singles, because I love that idea of like everything's like uniform and it's all its own thing. So each one is gonna have the same like theme, but they're all gonna be very, very like different. So I'm thinking that for every single, and then for the EP, that's just gonna be something I'm still thinking about right now, because I want to do like something really, really cool with that. Yeah.
I think that's the show.
Yeah, that's a show.
Thank
Cool.
you for coming to the Backyard Show,
Yeah, dog, of course.
and thank
Had
you
fun.
for listening.
Nice.
Again, keep an eye out for the new EP from Friends Don't Die, coming out June 8th. And go to our website, www.thebackyardshowpodcast.com, to check out the playlist that George curated just for you. Thank you for listening. This has been The Backyard Show.